Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the new Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Mighty Morphin Trini as the Red Ranger, and Jason as the Yellow Ranger based on the Boom Studios comic books. Now, as we can see, these figures come in the new Hasbro blind box packaging with some CG images of figures that are probably very inaccurate. And turning the box around, we can see some more CG images, again, figures that I'm hoping look this good, kinda sorta. But either way, let's go ahead and crack these figures open and let them breathe. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at this new Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 2-pack, where Trini is the Red Ranger and Jason is the Yellow Ranger. Now, I was really excited about this because I love how they did this whole swap in the Boom comics, this almost like multiverse type of thing, where I believe they were a couple, and then Trini became the leader, basically, which is really cool. So I actually really do like that, and it's something I've always kind of wanted to see, so really happy that they finally came out in the Lightning Collection. Now, here's the problem. These figures are utter freaking trash. I cannot stand these things. They are quite possibly the worst Lightning Collection figures ever made. And I really, really mean that. Now, they have some okay qualities, which I'll talk about. But for the most part, man, I am thoroughly disappointed, so let's go ahead and break all that down. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Trini here because I do think she is definitely the better of the set. But she still has some problems. First of all, I do really enjoy that head sculpt. I think that looks really, really good here. I'll get a nice close look at that. But yeah, I think they did a good job of that. The eyes look really nice. The lip color looks really good too. There's a little bit of almost like blush on the cheeks, if you can tell that from the video here. The hair looks really nice, so I do like that. I think that came out really, really good. Now, they are using a 2.0 style body, which is, can be a good thing. But the thing is here, I have a lot of issues with this. First of all, you'll see we do have double jointed elbows and a bicep swivel up there, so that's actually super cool. So I really do dig that. We do get pinless joints, which is really nice for the legs there. But if you could tell in the video here, the knee joints and the elbow joints are a dramatically different color. And again, I don't know if you can tell, I'm over here just knocking my panels down like a pendejo. So excuse me for a second. But let me see if I could darken it up here. Maybe you could tell a little bit better. But in person, they do not look good. Maybe with my lights kind of like blurring them out and blending the colors together, they probably look a little bit better. But in hand, it almost looks like she's just wearing knee pads and elbow pads. And I do not like that at all. That is honestly, it's actually really, really bothering me, and I'm not one to really complain about that kind of stuff, but in hand, it just does not look good, and I don't like it. I genuinely do not like it. But everything else looks good. The morpher looks really nice too. Very nice paint on the morpher. All the paint apps over the white and the red all look really clean. So that's really good. I do like it for that reason. Okay, so now let's talk about Jason here. Firstly, Jason is my all-time favorite Power Ranger. He was the Mighty Morphin Red, he was Zeo Gold. Zeo Gold is just my favorite Ranger, period. Now he's Mighty Morphin Yellow, which I, again, think is really cool. And one of the good things about this particular figure that I was excited about, if you want to go the whole Super Sentai team and have the Yellow Ranger be a male character, you can do that with this figure, so I thought that was actually super cool when I got this in. That head sculpt is atrocious. Oh my god. First of all, those eyes are way too doughy. That homeboy has some thick ass eyebrows, okay? Those things are not on fleek. Those lips, why is he wearing such dark lipstick? That looks terrible. I just do not like this at all. That sculpt just does not doing it for me. Not happy with that at all. The color yellow chosen looks really good. I actually prefer this yellow kinda over the original female Mighty Morphin, the Trini Mighty Morphin. But if you can kind of see, and you'll see what I'm talking about here, this thing wobbly AF. I am so disappointed in this, and Oh my god, I'll talk about this more during articulation, but right now we're just talking about aesthetics here. But overall, it still looks really good. Again, the more for all that looks great. I do think it looks nice for the most part, with the exception of that caca face. That thing is just trash. Okay, so now back over to Trini here. I put on the helmet, and the helmet, man, I think the helmets are what shine here more than anything from the set. So first of all, again, this looks pretty damn good. I love the helmet, much more accurate to the show. Just the shape of that visor all look great. But what I'm going to do here, I'm going to bring in the Yellow Ranger Trini here, and you can really see the difference. Again, where the articulation joints are. This didn't have a bicep swivel. It was only a single bend with the elbow, and then it had rotated at the elbow, where these actually have double jointed elbows and a swivel at the upper bicep right there. That looks really good. You can see the newer torsos that we're getting here. I'm not sure if the upper torso is different, but the mid torso is definitely different. The arms are completely different. The gloves and the hands, same with the boots and the feet, those are all the same. The legs, and I believe the crotch area might be the same too. The legs are all different, excuse me, because these are new ones are pinless, so that's really good. I do love that we can actually see the neck now, because with a lot of these female rangers, you cannot really see the neck all that well, so that's different. So I do like the look of this, just with the exception of those knees, man. The joints, the knees and the elbows, they just are not flattering whatsoever. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to bring in the Mighty Morphin Red right here, Jason in Red Ranger gear. These look really cool, but you can really see the difference in the helmets there. This older helmet wasn't bad, but it was not accurate. The shape of that visor is ridiculous. This newer one is just so much better, man. So I do love that a lot. And I think a big reason what a lot of people are going to want, they're going to want to put this helmet on this figure, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So there we go. Here are the heads swapped. This one, actually, I'm not going to lie. Okay, I might just leave them like this one once I have them on my shelf. I mean, this helmet still doesn't look great, but I kind of think it fits this figure. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. It still looks probably a little too big, right? Probably a little too tall on that one. This just looks perfect, man. This is my Red Ranger right here. So this is really cool. I know they're going to be doing re-releases, kinda, sorta, of Mighty Morphin with like updated bodies, the updated head sculpts, but they're going to have, like, instead of Jason, it's going to be Rocky. You know, instead of Zach, it's going to be oh my god, why am I blanking on the Black Ranger's name at the moment? Anyways, feel free to correct me in the comments, because my head is blanking, but you know what I mean though. Instead of Kimberly, it's gonna be Kat, that kind of stuff. But still, this looks awesome, man. This is what I'm doing. I'm rocking that helmet on this head sculpt because it looks super good. You know, this head looked a little big on this body, but to me it's actually kind of accurate, where the head would be a little bit bigger, because that's to fit over an actual human head, you know what I mean? But I get it. It could have been a little smaller for this body here, but I still think it looked really good. But this looks fantastic. So now we're going to move it on back to Jason here. The helmet looks great. I do love that a lot, but it is clearly too small for this body. They didn't bother to upsize this to fit a male buck, so it looks really awkward and really tiny on him. You might like it, you might not, I don't know. I think the helmet itself looks good. I just don't think it looks good on this body. So again, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to bring in the Mighty Morphin Trini Yellow Ranger right here. And you can see the differences in the head sculpt. First of all, the shape of the helmet is like completely different now. The visors are completely different. This one does feel a little thinner, which is good. You can see the noses look about the same. I think the nose over here is a little elongated, which feels a little better, like a little more wider. Then the eyes of the helmet for the actual tiger face, the saber-tooth tiger face, are different as well. So, you know, for me, definite upgrade. I do think that looks really good. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in Jason in his Red Ranger gear right here. So again, you can see the difference in the bodies, where we had the pin joints over here with the Red Ranger, the new pinless on the Yellow Ranger here, especially on the legs. They really show off pretty good. Again, for the most part, everything's the same with the exception of those pinless joints. It looks like the crotch, the abdomen, the chest area, maybe the hips, and then definitely the boots and gloves are all the same. but it's mostly just those pinless joints that are going to be very different. So it's really cool. Again, seeing maybe a male version, again, more like Super Sentai, you know, in a male buck like that. So that's really cool. Again, the helmet is definitely just too small for this guy. Now for Jason here, we're going to get, of course, the power daggers or the sai, whatever you want to call them. They're pretty cool. I will note that they feel pretty gummy, a little gummier than the previous versions of Trini in yellow here. So those look really cool. I do like those a lot. Then we actually do get some really awesome effect pieces here. I believe we've seen these before, and it's a little tricky, but you can find little holes that you can just kind of go over the blades like that. And you can have some really cool, like, you know, effects where he's like slashing or deflecting blasts and things like that. So that's really cool. I do like those. Again, Lightning Collection has always been really good when it comes to effect pieces. Okay, so now let's talk Articulation here, because I really want to start off with Trini here, because I do think this is a pretty nice upgrade from the original 1.0 Mighty Morphin bodies. So of course we do get the double jointed elbows, which is really nice. You get a good bend there. So I do like that. And I'm going to bring in the original Trini here first, where those elbows were just only bending that much compared to this. I mean, this is a total upgrade. And then he swiveled at the elbow there, where here you swivel at the bicep. So I like this a whole lot better. And then we do get that new neck joint where it's a double ball peg, that one that goes into the torso and another one that goes up in the helmet. What that means is they took out the disc joint, and that means it cannot look up at all. Like there's no looking up with these things, up or down. You're gonna get and that's it. Nothing else. Everything else pretty much works the exact same as the 1.0 bodies here. It's mostly just the elbows and the neck. So this is a little bit better, but also a little worse because you can't actually look up with this figure, so that's kind of trash. Now I'm gonna bring in this guy. Oh my god, this just straight pisses me off. So again, like the Red Ranger there, like Trini, it does have that new neck where it's a ball peg going into the torso, then one up into the head, which again, you cannot look up. You're just gonna get left and right. That is all. For crazy dynamic ninja poses that the Rangers are normally do, I hate that. It is stupid. Everything else with the figure, as far as the body is concerned, it's all pretty much the same. Again, just pinless, but they all works pretty much exactly the same. But here's the Mighty Morphin, for the first Mighty Morphin Red. He has the disc hinge. He can actually look up, down, all that kind of stuff. This does nothing. It pisses me off. Like here, he's looking up. This guy can't look up for crap. You know what I mean? I absolutely hate that. And then on top of that, look how loose this plastic with both these figures feels cheap. It is not the same plastic that they used for the previous figures. I mean, look how loose those hips are. Look how loose these knees are. They do not stay. I mean, trying to pose these guys around and stand them up is just a pain in the butt. Again, the materials just feel cheap. I am not liking this whatsoever. He is just a pain in the butt to pose around because how loose everything I mean, look at his upper torso, still wobbly too. That, like, look at that. I'm just holding him here. And I mean, look, oh my God, dude. This is a freaking brick, man. This thing is solid. This is utter flipping trash, and I absolutely hate it so much. This set could have been awesome. I was really looking forward to it because I was really excited to get these two figures. Again, a Super Sentai Yellow Ranger, that's cool. I've been wanting a female Red Ranger, especially in Mighty Morphin Deco for a while. I absolutely love Trini, R.I.P. Thoi Trang. These things are okay at very best, and that's a freaking, see, even saying they're okay is me being generous. I think these things are utter trash. I highly recommend you do not buy these because in my opinion, they are definitely the worst Lightning Collection figures ever. Alright guys, so there's my review of the new Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Trini and Jason 2-pack, and I decided to throw in a little picture of all four figures side by side so you can see the differences, which again looks kind of cool, but here's the thing, this set just sucks. It really, really does. Posing the figures is okay. Getting them to stand is a whole nother issue. They just do not stand as well as I would like. And it really comes down to the plastic. They have definitely started using different plastic for these, which is not good. The plastic is terrible. It feels cheap. The different color joints do not help with this whatsoever. The accessories are really nice. I do love the effect pieces, but even things like the power sword, which is lacking paint and the paint from the handle is chipping off, is really cheap. But I do love the fact that the power blaster comes in all three forms with this set. That's something they should have been doing a very long time ago. I also do really like the head sculpts. Even the unmasked Trini head sculpt, that thing is really awesome. The Jason one could have been a lot better, maybe with just some better paint. The new helmeted heads are fantastic. I'm glad they're redoing those. But here's the thing, do not buy this set for just these helmets. You just know that Hasbro's going to re-release these figures single-packed with an Aisha or a Rocky with these modern head sculpts. We already know we're going to get Adam the Black Ranger, and yes, I finally remembered his name, with a more modern head sculpt, which is great. So if I were you, I would hold out for those and don't even bother with this 2-pack. I was very excited for this set because I was really wanting to have a female a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger and then finally have a yellow Super Sentai Ranger. That was so cool. But man, these things are absolute garbage. I was so hyped and then so quickly disappointed. Again, these might be the worst Lightning Collection figures ever made. I highly do not recommend them, and they are definitely not a must-get. So be excellent to each other, and stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.